princesses and princes, welcome to my channel. It's Disney World Week here at Disney Fairy Tales. In today's video, I am talking about the ways that Disney World is better than Disneyland. Disclaimer is I do love Disneyland a whole lot more. I am biased towards Disneyland, but in my past trip to Disney World in June, I kind of discovered some things I think Disney World has done better than Disneyland has, and I'm going to share those with you today. I'm not hating on Disneyland. Disneyland is everything to me. It's everything to me. And later on, when I go to Disneyland next, I'll possibly do a video as to why Disneyland is better than Disney World. So the number one thing on my list is organization. I think Disney World is so much more organized than Disneyland. I don't know if it's because Disney World is more spread out and it feels like it's not really crowded when you're in Magic Kingdom because there's 4 or 5 other parks that are far away from each other. And it just feels like there's not a whole lot of people there. So there's definitely kind of a more sense of crowd control. One of the things that Disney World is organized about is stroller parking. Now, I don't know if Disneyland has fixed this lately. I haven't been to Disneyland since January. Disney World, I was in end of June. So things could have changed. Who knows? So stroller parking, there are designated spots to park strollers. They're clearly marked. They're mostly kind of in the center of where rides are, and they're all over, especially in Fantasyland. I feel like when I go to Disneyland, you're tripping on stroller after stroller after stroller. People just leave their strollers wherever. There's one designated spot that I can think of, and that is when you're crossing through New Orleans Square into Adventureland. And I don't think there's as many designated stroller parking areas in Disneyland as there is in Disney World. Another thing that I really, really loved about Disney World, and I hope and I think they're going to do this in Disneyland, and that is magic bands. If you don't know what a magic band is, basically when you're planning your trip to Disney World, you gotta sign up for My Disney Experience, I think it's called, and you organize what fast passes you want. You have your tickets, your fast pass, your dining reservations, all in this band, and you just scan it, and it is just such a convenience. There's no more juggling around 5 different tickets. You don't have to keep track of where you put your fast pass like you do in Disneyland. It's so easy. You don't have to keep track of a hopper pass. You don't have to keep any confirmation number. Well, you should keep confirmation numbers, but you don't have to keep any tickets or anything like that. It's all on your Magic Band. You can even pay with your Magic Band if you link a credit card up to it. And it was just such a huge relief because you didn't have to keep track of papers. And it may seem like such a small thing to keep track of, but when you're at a big place and planning your trip, the littlest things can just change everything, Even though Disney World is so big, I think they're great on transportation. And some people can agree or disagree with me. When I'm going to Disney World, I usually stay in one of their on-site hotels, just like I do at Disneyland. It's just easier that way. For the on-site hotels at Disney World, you have access to the buses, the shuttles that are 20 minutes back and forth. And 20 minutes, it can be really aggravating being on a bus with a whole bunch of kids, and you're hot and sweaty and you're exhausted. But their transportation is pretty much on point. Something I've noticed is that Disney World has established character times. And I know Disneyland has established character meet and greet times too. But they don't have an established location with a sign that says what times they'll be at unless they change that. Specifically in Disney World Epcot, I've noticed that they have the signs where you can meet Belle, and I'll say the times right on there, and I think maybe that is something they should incorporate in Disneyland a little bit more. But again, maybe you don't need to, since now they have the Princess Fair and everything, and the Princess Fair is something that Disney World doesn't have. Maybe Disney World should get that. I felt like, to meet character times, it was really just easy to look up and know the established times where you can meet a character. You have signs, and on the My Disneyland Experience app, you have that too, where it says where you can meet the characters and at what time. Those are kind of the main points as what I think Disney World does better than Disneyland. Other things I really, really love about Disney World compared to Disneyland is I feel like Disney World has more food options. Maybe it's just because there's more parks and you have Epcot, and it's bigger and marvelous, and I really like Disney World. But again, I'm really, really biased towards Disneyland. So even picking out some things I feel like Disney World has done better was kind of a bit of a daunting task. Like, I don't know. I've only been to Disney World twice, so I can only tell you what I know. Have you been to Disney World more times than I have? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think Disney World does better than Disneyland. Again, I'm not saying that Disneyland is doing anything wrong. I'm just kind of, in my opinion, pointing out some things that Disney World has done better or has that Disneyland doesn't have, but it's not necessarily a thing that Disneyland needs. These are just some noticeable differences that I noticed. Thank you so much for watching. Have a magical day. Give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.